Somebody say something?
Yo.
Hey, yo.
Can I fart in the car? See if I pick that up.
Take two.
I gotta go.
All I said was yo. That's what you get. Dork.
Still looking at that. I knew he cared, but I guess it's just like I had never really been in relationships, and so I don't know. So I had a hard time like trusting people or believing people when they said things, and so yeah, I knew he liked me and he wanted to date, but I was like not ready yet, and the fact that he waited that long, like until I was ready, and didn't just peace out, made me trust him, or made me realize like I knew you care because you said you cared, but now you just showed me that like you really care. It was like it just made me very comfortable with our relationship, and like I never had any doubts. Like I never had any insecurity ever in our relationship because I always knew like no, yeah, like you're legit. Like you could have left at any moment and you didn't.
My question is, when Lewis came to you and wanted to, start a relationship with you, were you initially interested, or were you just like, nah?
Oh no, I was definitely interested.
So you were interested in the you not being ready, because I think that's what he's asking. It's like, I'm not ready for this yet, or I just need more time. Because sometimes that's the way of communicating. I don't want to be with you, and I'm letting you down gently or softly. But it was legit you needing more time.
Yeah, so I liked him, and then like he told me he liked me, and I liked him, and then it was like I don't know. And I don't even remember when we talked about like let's like actually dating, make it official. But I think I liked him, but I think I was scared because like I had this feeling where I just kind of knew like, or I just felt like if I date you, then that's it. Like if I date you, then I'm gonna marry you, and I've never really dated before, so I don't know. It was just like, do I want to get this serious like now? Like I just graduated high school. I'm like, let's just wait until I know for sure, and then we can date.
Yeah.
Because
it's like almost
I didn't want to date for a couple months and then that's it. It's like, well, let's just do what we're doing, which I don't even know what the heck we would call what we were doing. Basically unofficially dating. Yeah. We pretty much date.
We went on dates. We
hung out.
Yeah, we hung
We
out.
talked every day.
Hypothetically, right, in this period of where you guys were going with each other before you guys became boyfriend and girlfriend, if you found out Kat was talking to another dude, how would you have felt?
Yeah,
exactly. So
no. I mean, and I will understand. I will understand too. But my thing is just be real about it. To say, hey, I like this other guy. I'm talking to him too. I'm still interested in you. I'm not interested in you. Yada. At the end of the day, just let me know.
And I did tell him once. Like, you should move on because I don't want to date you, and I don't think I'm ever gonna want to date you.
I remember that.
Yeah, we were like in the car. It was like a pretty intense moment. And you said, I can't. You're like, I can't. You're like, I really tried. Like, it's like, I just can't do it.
So why did you say it?
Why did I say that? Well, I was in and out a lot. And I think, like, to be honest, and we talked about this, it's like, as a kid, it's like I always had this, like, idea of, like, who I would end up with, like everything, like how they would talk, like how they would walk, how they, it's like you just have this like image, and then you're just looking for that person because you think like, oh, I know who I'm supposed to be with, and I know what they're supposed to be like, and when I find that person, I'll know. And like Lewis broke the mold, I guess, of like it was different, and but it's like I liked him, but then I was just like conflicted of like, is this what I want? Is this what and I remember Chu actually told me something we were driving to church or something, and he was, because I think we went to the church and it was like really cute, and I think I had said like, oh my gosh, like this would be so cute to get married at, or like it's so perfect, or I don't know, I guess I referenced marriage or weddings a lot. I remember you said like, well, maybe what you need isn't necessarily what you want. And I was like, maybe you're right. Like,
So Louis is not what you wanted, but he was what you needed.
he is what I want. I didn't know that that's what I wanted at that time.
Maybe you wanted because your needs were satisfied. Possibly. Or you realized he was someone who could satisfy those things that you actually needed.
Yeah, he challenged me, or like he made me better in a lot of ways, or like he complimented me in ways that like I needed. I guess, I don't know, I guess maybe I also been expecting like relationships would just be a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really not easy all the time, and it's like, but you don't want it to be. Like, you want somebody that does challenge you, and you want somebody that does make you better, you know?
So like let's say in reverse. Let's say that we end up with someone we want. Like we shoot for what we want. Is that like realistic? Do people usually end up with the person they want to be with, or?
I don't think it's a thing that's unrealistic, because it can happen. When we first started dating, just like I said, it wasn't easy. No, well, courtshiping, it wasn't easy. Because I think we argue more then than we do now. We figured out each other's communication level, we figured out everything else, because, you know, and I realized that, all right, this is what I need, because there's time though, and I'll say, yo, I messed up. Or I say, oh, it's my fault, I'm sorry. It helped me to where now, not just in this relationship, but like all throughout life, I'm just like, yo, is it worth it being upset? Is it worth it doing all these things? Let me approach this other person, let me try to resolve it, extend an olive branch for peace. And I learned that through her, because it's what I needed in my life, and I didn't know I needed it.
Do you feel like it's possible to understand your needs and your wants beyond, accurately understand your needs and your want beyond having them expressed and realized through another individual?
Wait, can you?
Cause like I can say like, yo, I need this and I want this, and to your point, you said earlier that you thought you knew what you wanted and you thought you knew what you needed until this person comes and they start meeting those needs, and then they become the person that you want. Could me being single, could I accurately and honestly understand what it is I need prior to having those things addressed within an actual relationship or within another individual? It's saying, hey, I need another person to reflect.
Well,
Or other people, maybe it's a group, maybe it's a body of people. I need other people, I need another person to reflect who it is I need to be or where it is I need to go next with.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I think what I'm trying to get at with that is just like your situation in life, because no matter what human being in a situation in life, you're gonna always interact with somebody. You're gonna always have to talk to somebody, and you know, always functional to work with them, everything of that nature. But the reason I say a group of friends is because it's not just, hey, let's talk about this and this, just because, you know, you're a doctor or you're a lawyer or things like that. Is because, hey, I don't feel like, you know, if I'm the doctor in the group of people, the people I'm hanging with at that moment is not motivated to do anything, you know, drinking, doing whatever they need to do. That I guess it comes back to your side. Does that really bring me peace every time I come around them? Do I feel like I can motivate myself to better the situation, or, you know, because you always want to see you and your friend, you know, make it together. So find people who are motivated and doing all these things. It will motivate you. Well, I guess it would. And I just realized too, I guess it would be the same point as yours. You know, in some way you would meet people, but I think self-realization, you won't realize it until you're actually in a situation where you have to evaluate every aspect of your life, and human beings are one of the biggest aspects of your life. So,
Me personally, every relationship I've been in, I've grown, right? And some of the stuff that I thought I wanted, or some of the stuff that I thought I needed, I realized, I don't really need that. Or some of the things I wanted, it was like, yo, you don't just want this, you gotta have this. You know what I'm saying? There's certain mirrors there's certain questions that you think you know the answer to, and until someone reveals that, like, no, this is not you. You're not that honest of a person. You're not that funny, or you're not that smart, or you're not that great, and sometimes you need another person to humble yourself and answer those questions of what you actually need.
I was literally about to say exactly what you just ended with, like, it's really humbling to, like, be in a relationship. And so I guess, or like his point before, it's like you can know what you need, but only to, like, a certain point, because you learn a lot about yourself in relationships that, like, I don't think you can really learn
Right, I mean, 'cause
any
it's not
other
another
way.
person.
Yeah, because it's like, even things you think about yourself, or like you think that's true about yourself, it's like you get in a relationship and you realize a lot of things about yourself, like the good and the bad, It's like you can realize, like, man, I'm really, like, not really that great of a person a lot. Like, I have a lot of issues, and it's like that it's important to have, it's humbling, but it's important to, like, have the other person be humbled as well. And then it's like you both kind of are, like, patient with each other. So.
Me as a man, I had to learn to basically humble myself and resolve issues. It kind of take me in that matter, because, again, like you stated before, like, I have to go to her some days where I'm just like, yo, even though I'm wrong, I'm gonna come and say I'm sorry. Even though if I might not be wrong, I still feel like I'm wrong. Let's sit down, let's talk about this. I think secondly, also patience, because before I had zero patience for, like, I guess when it comes to argument, I would just shut down and, like, not really be that person. But I learned to listen to what Catherine had to say, and even when she approached me and I don't agree with it, just basically say, okay, I'm hearing what you're saying.
Yeah, I would say there's, like, just a ton of stuff that I've learned about myself. I guess one thing that I learned, well, I already knew this pretty early on, but, like, I've become a lot less emotional. Like, not emotional as in, like, I don't feel things anymore, but, like, I don't react so much on my emotions as much as I used to, where it's like, I guess I'm more stable, where it's like, I don't, like, I used to get, like, anxiety and, like, all this kind of stuff, and yeah, well, and that was one of the things that I had to figure out, like, at the very beginning, because it's like a lot of things that I would, like, get upset about or feel some type of way. It's like I kind of had to figure out, like, what is just, like, my irrational emotional thinking, and what's, like, a legit thing that I could, like, actually be upset about. And it's like figuring out that, and then learning how to just, like, throw the other things away and, like, not even, like, have that as an issue. I think the way I handle conflict, or the way I communicate, definitely has changed. Sorry, my mind's going blank.
Like, in what way?
Like
What was it before?
Like before, so, like, kind of like what he just said, like, you would shut down. It's like, if I ever got upset, like, I would just shut down. I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. Or I learned how to be a lot more vulnerable, I guess. To, like, be open, or, like, just be straight up, like, this is how I feel. Like, this is what I think. And this is how you made me feel by doing this, or whatever. And, like, you just have to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to, like, be, like, open book like that, because, yeah, like, if you're not going to be honest and say, like, exactly, even if you're embarrassed, to say whatever, like whatever it is. It's like your communication's never going to be good if you're not completely honest.
Do you guys see these lessons that you learned about yourself, like, apply outside of your relationship? Like, for example, if you're dealing with a more dumb coworker or another friend that's, you know, got a conflict with, do you apply those same principles that you learned through Lewis or that you learned with Kat to, like, other people or other things outside your life? Like, do you,
Or does it just...
are you more patient to people who are not rational, or does it only apply to Lewis because you guys grew and learned with each other?
No, I mean, I would definitely say I try to, like, anything that I learned in our relationship, it's like, yeah, I want to apply that to my other relationships, you know, and it's like, you want to take it and you want to make it, like, just part of who you are, and, like, this is just how I communicate now, because I've learned through this relationship that this is the best way, so in my other relationships, I want to communicate the same way. It's probably easier with him a lot. Like, it's definitely going to be easier most of the time for me to, like, since we do have that vulnerable relationship already, it's like easier to say things as opposed to, like, people you know, may not. Maybe a little harder, but I would say I do try to apply anything that I, you know, just make it as, like, I grow as a person and not just as I grow and just in this relationship.
Yeah, I mean, same with me. For the patience and, you know, reaching out to spread the peace. I try to exhibit that in my life every single day, but like I said, it's easier with her because the days I'm patient, the day I'm not patient, I know she's gonna love me. The days that I'm not patient with somebody else, you know, they're not gonna like me. Is it hard? Yeah, but, you know, every day I come and even she has to remind me, and you know, I tell her these stories. She's like, well, maybe that's God trying to reach a new level for patience for you. Maybe that's, you know, we got to do it. We got too complaining. We got too comfortable because we mostly have to do it between us. So, I mean, well, for myself, I try to do it each and every day of my life because there's no point in just doing it in one section and being that one section person.
I'm not worried about you guys.